All right. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Springs Municipal Advisory Council meeting of November 8th, 2023. I call this meeting to order at 6:31. We have Spanish interpretation online. Tenemos interpretación disponible por el red. Si hay alguien que necesita interpretación, nomás oprima el icono que el globo que está al pie de la pantalla a la derecha. Thank you. So I'll take roll. Council Member Winders.
Present.
Councilmember Lombard.
Present.
Councilmember Alcaraz.
Present.
Councilmember Allen.
Present.
Chair Ituri here. Vice Chair Hardiman will arrive a little bit late, and Councilmember Reyes will connect as a member of the public later on in the meeting. She's got some things going on at work. All right. Again, always want to thank our partners, Sonoma TV, Lynn Marie, for being an awesome note taker. Thank you to the SVUSD custodian Rogelio and our interpreters Carlos and Dasha. Karina is out today. We wish her well, and thanks to Hannah for stepping in for her and being here today. And all right. So we'll move on to item 2, approval of the minutes. Is there a motion to approve the minutes?
I move that we approve the minutes.
I second.
Okay, Iris and then Jack, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Great. Is there any public comment this evening on items not on the agenda? Did you have a comment, Seth? All right. Will you state your name and for the record?
Yeah, Seth Dolinsky. I'm with the Sonoma Valley Grange and also managing the Springs Community Garden at Larson Park. I did want to just say that we had a really nice event this last October 28th at the garden there and at Larson Park, Halloween and Dia de los Muertos celebration. We gave away 100 pumpkins to the community, all but 98 were taken. We had face painting, regional parks came out with a really nice activity, and we did the altar for the Day of the Dead. It was a good turnout. I would have liked more people, and that's where doing events in the Springs. I think more collaborations would be great in general. You know, when we looked at the farmers market, it was not greatly attended that we've had. So I think in the future, having multiple entities collaborate would be great. And I also wanted to promote our holiday pancake breakfast coming up at the Grange Hall. So this will be a really nice event on December 3rd, 9 a.m. to 11:30. Really great menu, as always, local and organic with our partners like Strauss Creamery, locally milled flour, organic, and Paul's Produce and all the great contributors. And the third event, we do a lot of events in the Springs here, is the holiday, 4th annual holiday cookie holiday celebration and cookie exchange at the Grange Hall. So that's going to be on December 7th, 6 to 9 p.m. on a Thursday, I believe. And what happens is, we ask the community to bake 2 or 3 dozen of their favorite holiday cookies. 1 dozen will be exchanged with others, and then 2 dozen will be donated to the holiday food programs for distribution. So that's another great event on December 7th. And then the pancake breakfast is December 3rd.
What's the time again?
For the breakfast,
Cookie.
the cookie exchange is 6 to 9 p.m. There'll be live music. The Grange will provide bread and non-alcoholic drinks, as well as some soups. So it should be a really nice activity. Thank you.
Thanks, Seth. Any other public comment? Any public comment online?
And through the chair, seeing no hands.
Okay. All right. Thank you. We'll close public comment. Chair update. The only thing I have tonight is that we are still seeking seats for the MAC. We have at least 2 open, I think, and they're both alternate positions. Okay. Are there any public comment on the chair's comments? Seeing none. Okay. Supervisor Gorin.
Hi, everyone. Thanks you for being here. Seth, thank you for everything that you do at Larson Park. I haven't checked on the progress of the bid to complete the improvements of the park, but I know that we should pretty much not plan on activities in the park next year because it's going to be under construction. That's a good thing. We want good things happening in the park. Yes, I do know there's a ribbon cutting for you and for everybody. So we will celebrate that. And I really don't have much to report. We had a brief meeting on Tuesday where we approved the second reading of the mobile home rent stabilization ordinance. We limited the rent increases for mobile homes. I think I should know this, but I think it's 70% of the CIP, and also limited the amount of money that if someone vacates their property, then they can have a transfer fee to sort of bring the rent up, and we limited their ability to do that. So I'll try to get some more specific information for you, but it was really gratifying that we were able to move this as an item of urgency. We'd talked about a number of things that we're really going to be moving forward on to help our struggling community afford to live here if at all possible. So that was the first item that we worked on. And we had to continue because we were missing our chair. Then last week we took a vote 4-1 to ban flavored tobacco products and increase the price of packages of cigarettes and the size of the packages. So the Lung Association had been encouraging us to do this. And both of my parents died of smoking related illnesses. So you understand that I take it very personally and very passionately. And I'm very, very concerned that our youth's increase of vaping and using of tobacco products has skyrocketed. And I'm hopeful that our actions will limit the ability of small and large stores to sell the products to our youth who continue to be very vulnerable and swayed by advertising. But it will come back soon once we have once we have a full board on the 28th, I think. And we do not have a meeting on the next couple of weeks, and our next meeting is the 28th. If you love trees, as I do, the tree protection ordinance and oak woodland ordinance will be coming forward. And I want to thank our planning commissioners, especially Caitlin Cornwall, for working so diligently on those two ordinances. So they will be coming back on the 28th. And I can't help but say thank you for all that you do, and happy Thanksgiving. I hope you're able to enjoy the holidays with your family and friends, have a little turkey or a vegan meal, whatever you prefer. And yay, my family is coming for Thanksgiving, so I'm happy. Anyway, I look forward to the meeting tonight. Thank you.
Thank you, Supervisor Gorn. Is there any public comment? Any online? Seeing none. Thank you. Okay, zero waste. We have a presentation. We're going to receive an informational presentation from Zero Waste on the programs that they have and their single-use plastic usage. And I'm sorry, I don't have your name.
Sloan
Sloan.
Pagal.
Thanks, Sloan.
And I have to say, I represent the Board of Supervisors working with this amazing woman and many other folks. So I get to meet with you once a month. Yay.
Okay, thank you.
We're so lucky to have Supervisor Gordon on our board. All right. Let me get my cheat sheet out. So my name is Sloan Pagal. I'm the Zero Waste Program Manager with Zero Waste Sonoma. And tonight I'm going to be talking about our programs, some hard to recycle materials, state and local mandates, and some actions. Next slide. So we were created in 1992, and we operate on behalf of all 10 jurisdictions in Sonoma County. The 5 pillars that we operate around are household hazardous waste, organics, which is composting essentially, zero waste planning and policy, education and outreach, as well as reporting to the state. Next slide. So what is household hazardous waste? These are some of the most common examples. Might be a little bit hard to see here, but we have a big list of them on our website, and you'll find them all around your house, in the garage, and in the yard. Next slide. So they need to be treated differently than most of the things that you put in your curbside bins. And we have programs to support that. So the first one being the permanent hazardous waste facility down at Meacham Road in Petaluma. We do have a hazardous waste rover pickup service for folks that can't drive. There is a cost to this, but it's free for folks that are over 65. You just need to set up an appointment, and those happen every Wednesday. So then e-waste is listed here, but it's actually a little bit different, and I'll talk about that one later. And then Tuesday, we have collection events all throughout Sonoma County, and actually next week is one here in Sonoma. So if you have any of these problematic items lying around your house, now's a good time to use the QR code and sign up for that event. Next slide. Oh, yeah, sorry, take your time, get it. It's also on our website. Oh, one more thing, actually, I forgot to mention on that slide. We at the hazardous waste facility in Petaluma, we also have a reuse locker. So that includes things that like cleaning supplies and fertilizers that people got rid of, but they're free for people to take. So if you're down there, you can take a look at the reuse locker. And also it's a little washed out. You can't see it, but we have 4 standard paint colors that are re-spun from the paint that is collected there. And those are free. So another thing to take advantage of. Next slide. So this is an image of our e-waste recycling events. These happen every month all around the county. That's our partners, Conservation Corps North Bay. So e-waste is things like stereo equipment, office equipment, phones, tablets, computers. You'll see there's microwaves in there. That's the only small appliance that really counts. But a lot of the components like the glass, the metal, and some of the plastics can get recycled. And so we try to host these events so that it's easy to do the right thing and convenient. And since we're here in Sonoma, you also can bring them down to the transfer station that's over by Soils Plus off Stage Gulch Road. And that is, let me see, I think I wrote it down. You can, it's Monday through Saturday, 7 to 3. So that's another option for you. Next slide. Solar panel events is something that we've added this year, and it's pretty cutting edge. It's the only area in the state of California that we're able to do this right now. It's a pilot program. And so we're sort of at that time where the first kind of early adopters of solar panels are sort of aging out. And, like similar to e-waste, there's a lot of the components of these panels can be recycled. And they are tested. So if they are still able to be used and they have some life left in them, we're coming up with a way to repurpose or resell them at a really deep discount. So keep an eye out for that. And there will be more of these in the next year. Next slide. Oh, again, this is a little bit hard to see, but the map shown here just shows where our organic waste and where the composting facilities are. So the red dots are the 3 facilities that Sonoma County sends our residential compost to, and the yellow one is where commercial compost is going to. And then these are just some statistics about those amounts that are being sent. And I'm not going to take the time to go over them because I want to be mindful here of time. Next slide. So a little bit more on organics. Some of you might be familiar with this new state law called SB 1383, and it's really to mandate composting throughout the state and make it accessible for all residents and commercial businesses to do. And there's also a component of edible food donation. So the goal with this mandate is to decrease organics being sent to the landfill by 75%. by 2025. And it's a really ambitious goal, but we are doing really well, just as to let you know that Sonoma County is really ahead of a lot of places in the state on this. The tie-in here is that we want to do this because it's to slow climate change. And then the component with the food recovery is 20% of all edible food. Next slide. Oh, just for Spanish, and next slide. Great. So again, a little bit more on the food recovery. We've received a few grants to help support this to happen and get some infrastructure, some refrigerated trucks to do that. So again, we've partnered with Conservation Corps North Bay, and just in a 2-year period, through the grant that we received through CalRecycle, we've been able to recover 43,000 pounds of food and redistribute that. That was May 2021 to May 2023. Next slide. So, we're all contributing at the green bin, so we might as well be receiving some of the finished product. And that is exactly what we are trying to do here with our giveaway, compost giveaway events. I don't know if any of you were here for the one at Larson Park, but there was one about a month ago. I know I went there with my buckets and filled it up. Yeah, I remember you. I got some plant starts as well. Thank you for that. So more of those to come in 2024. Next slide. So if you're somebody that uses a lot of compost, please take advantage of this rebate that we have. It's 10% back if you're looking at over 30 cubic yards. So it's a lot, but there's a lot of big properties out here. So keep that in mind. Next slide. So moving into some of the local ordinances here in Sonoma County, I'm sure most of you are familiar with the single-use plastic bag ban. We sort of had some backsliding with that throughout the pandemic, but I think we're back on track. And we, people are bringing bags back to the stores again, and we're kind of in good shape there. And then in 2021, we worked with all the cities in the county to adopt a disposable foodware ordinance and styrofoam ban. So really the main thing was to get styrofoam out. And so that means retailers aren't able to sell it either. I'm trying to turn off the tap in a sense so it doesn't get out into the community. So if you do see it, please let us know and we will do the outreach and try to correct that. The next one that's coming up, just to back up also with the foodware ordinance, it does require that accessories and condiments are provided on request and that the foodware that is provided should be locally compostable and recyclable. And so looking forward to 2024, the construction, demolition, and deconstruction ordinance is something that we're bringing forward to first of all, better track the material that's coming off construction sites and hold those contractors accountable to actually get that material recycled. And then the deconstruction component, it speaks to the older buildings, anything over 100 years old, or if it has a historical designation, is to be deconstructed by hand rather than demolished with a machine. And the purpose of that is simply because we have a lot of great hardwoods, old growth lumber, and really high value things that are in those buildings. Buildings have a high amount of embodied carbon. And so if we reuse what's already been used before, we get to reduce the amount of carbon going into new construction. Next slide. So fix-it clinics and repair fairs. We've had about 6 of these in the last couple years, and we actually just had one in Petaluma where we fixed 70 items out of 88, so pretty good, and we diverted 630 pounds from the landfill. So the purpose of these events is to, let people bring in things like bikes, clothes, small appliances, lamps, fans. Those are kind of the most common ones that we see. And this one, we also had electronics, and really keep them out of the landfill and kind of keep the value in there. So it's part of a behavior change. And, we have such convenience here with online retailers and stuff, but why not just use the things that we already have and also save some money in the process? Next slide. This slide just shows mattress recycling, because mattresses are one of the most commonly illegally dumped things that we see on roads in Sonoma County. And they also are big. They take up a lot of space in the landfill. So mattress mattresses and box springs are highly recyclable. About 80% of these items can be recycled. The steel, foam, wood, and fabric can be recycled. And so we partner with Bye Bye Mattress to host these events. Some of them are at the same time and location as our e-waste collection events. And the program has already recycled over 5 million of these mattresses in California. Next slide. So as I mentioned, one of our pillars is education and outreach. Some of you might know our Zero Waste Guide. It used to be called the Recycling Guide. This is pretty widely distributed, and all of the same information is available on our website, and it's even handier because you can search in the search bar for what you're looking for. And also, we have a hotline that we answer and respond to daily called the Eco Desk. So 565-3375. And next. So we work with Saluna Outreach Solutions to do Spanish language outreach through different radio and in-person events, as well as business visits. So that's our partner Ugo there, and he's been working with us for a long time to get the word out about our programs. Next. So the question a lot of people have is, what do we do about plastics and why are they such a big problem? I think a lot of us already know that, plastic never really goes away, and the recycling is challenging. So that has to do with the types of different types of plastic resins that there are. And some of them are much easier to recycle than others. So one thing I like to encourage people to do is if you have a plastic container, flip it over, you'll see the chase and arrows symbol. And then inside of that, there's a number. The easiest ones to recycle are 1s, 2s, and 5s. So if you can make the purchasing choice between, a different number and one of those numbers, go with 1 or 2 or 5, and make sure it's clean and dry when you put it into the recycling bin. So, we don't want our beaches to look like this. And of course, we still need to do what we can to clean up the plastic that's already been put into the environment. But, we do want to try our best to clean up the tap. And I will talk about that in the next slide. So SB 54 is another new law here, and it's to address packaging waste. And packaging is making about 27% of what's sent to our landfills in California. And this is a really exciting new thing to happen because it's really putting the responsibility on the manufacturers of these plastics, which again, very problematic. So the goal with this new law is 25% single-use reduction, 65% recyclability, and then making anything that's made out of plastic something that actually can get recycled or composted. And they're still in the rulemaking process, so a lot of it a little bit remains to be seen, but it's very exciting. Next. So what does zero waste look like? It really is a goal. It's not about getting to zero. We need more people doing it imperfectly than fewer people doing it perfectly. So it's about trying, it's about committing. It's about bringing your own when you can and changing and shifting your habits. We know that takes time, so don't beat yourself up about it, but try to do the right thing the next time. So one way you can do that, kind of create like a bring your own kit, and there's a good picture there. Utensils, your reusable cup, and a container for your food is just something to keep with you handy in your purse or your backpack or your car. And that way you're ready for whatever. Next slide. So again, if you don't already have 3-bin collection, that's a good place to start. If you're an employer, make sure you're educating your employees on how to do it correctly and how to sort at the bins. If you are a Recology customer, they do provide some technical assistance like that, and trainings. You can also, again, switch to reusables over disposables. You can also consider buying recycled content products like paper for your printers, plastic bags if you must. And also there's clothes that are made from recycled bags, and you'll be surprised what you find out there. We have a refill shop here in town. So if you haven't been there already, I really recommend going to Refill Madness and checking it out. Donate excess food. There's a company or a nonprofit that's called Farm to Pantry. And if you have a fruit tree that is overloaded and you don't know what to do with it, call them and they will help you glean it and then redistribute it to people that want that food. And then responsible disposal. I think this applies to all of us here. We've covered how you can do that in many ways. It's also important that businesses are doing that as well. And some good examples are Oliver's Market and the county. And next slide. Oh, I think that's it. So if there's any questions.
Thank you. Super impressive. I do have a question. Do you do assessments of organizations?
Like a waste audit, you mean? You know, we can probably help with that. It's not really something that we do regularly, but you know, there's certain things that we can do to sort of look at a waste stream and also check and see what's going in what bin. And we can kind of help you design a little do-it-yourself program as well.
Okay, great. Thank you. Any comments from the council? We'll get to public comment in a second.
I do.
Was that Jesus?
Yes.
Jesus and then Iris.
Hi. Is it true that I heard somewhere that is there an organization in town that provides a small compost bin for your kitchen so you can throw in your food waste?
Yeah, the cities all went in and the county on a purchase of a lot of these countertop compost pails. Travis, who is the sustainability coordinator with the city of Sonoma. I don't know if there's any left, but we can certainly find a way to get you one or get folks them. I know the county still has a lot more. There's like 1,200 left, I think, at the last time I checked. So we have distributed those at outreach events, but I am not sure what the plan is for distributing the rest of those because it's kind of like winter. There's not really a lot of events happening right now. I would say you can contact me, call the Eco Desk if people want, and we can figure out how to distribute those.
Thank you.
Also, so at my employment, we had adopted we ban single-use plastics. So we're in transitioning on to use only like compostable materials. But oftentimes people are trying to throw them in the recycle bin instead of the compost because it looks very recyclable. So you say that Recology will help like commercial like companies and contractors educate their employees so that they can compost better correctly.
Yes.
And that does include compost and recycling.
Yeah, they have a whole team of Waste Zero specialists that are deployed for that reason. And, you know, with the whole compost law happening, they've added a lot of staff to help with that. So I would recommend reaching out to Recology to set up a training at your work.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, Iris.
Actually, I have several questions, and I think that Refill Madness has those little countertop compostable thingies for you. You can go there and check it out. Okay. It always okay. When I see something that says compostable in a commercial facility, it's like, okay, I don't think that I really can throw that into my compost, my black can. True or not true? It's because arrows on the map were for home.
For the
com-
residential. And then there's the yellow dot was for the commercial, but it's a confusing labeling problem. And actually SB 54 is going to be addressing that confusing labeling
Okay,
because really in Sonoma County, the only materials that are like foodware and that kind of thing that's truly compostable is it has to be made out of some sort of fiber and it can't have a lining of any sort. So the PLA cups that look like plastic, not compostable, even though it says it is. And that's not just Sonoma County, but it has to do with the facilities, right? They are the ones that are making the compost. So if they want to make a high quality compost that's organic, because that's what's in demand, they can't take any of those plastic looking compostables. They do not break down in the same cycles that the rest of the organic material breaks down. So they can't really sell that and they end up screening all of it out. And then it goes to a landfill where it's creating the same problem that any foodware or yard waste would be creating if it goes to the landfill, which is creating methane.
Mhm.
So it's problematic and I hope that SB 54 will help solve that confusing labeling issue.
okay. Yeah, I put some in my home compost that said they were compostable and it's like 6 months later, they're
Yeah.
still the same, pretty much. Okay, the ban on styrofoam for like takeout food.
Mhm.
Is that in effect or because I'm pretty sure that there are some local businesses, small businesses,
Okay.
single
Yeah.
business, owner, or single location that are using them.
If you know which ones they are, let us know. We are about to start a technical assistance program for this
Okay.
and we can target them.
Right.
Anything else?
Yep. This is, okay. Recycling bins. I walk past recycling bins on pickup day and people have their stuff in plastic bags and I understand it just gets thrown into the trash. And is there, I wish I had a sticker to. There
I
it is.
know.
Is there, it's just education.
It's education. Recology does have stickers that say no trash bags or no plastic bags. I could probably go home and come back and bring you some stickers because I think I have a few.
That would be great.
Yeah, I know. It's the biggest problem, I think, that we've been educating on for a long time, but
It makes the whole thing moot. The last thing is, my gripe, large item pickups. Large item pickups are great and I use my, that very lovely perk, but, it does not, I still see large items dumped in various places, sometimes mattresses. And I understand that big residential facilities that probably have dumpsters for people to put their trash in are that don't have large item pickups. Is that so? And if so, why not? Because certainly everybody pretty much everybody winds up with something big that they want to get rid of.
yeah, I'm sorry. The only thing I can say about that is that each jurisdiction has a franchise agreement with the hauler. And so it's different from city to city in unincorporated county. Looks like.
And here comes
Supervisor
Susan,
Gordon.
thank you.
And she's right, it's different from city to city. So what we have in the unincorporated areas is different than what they have in the city of Sonoma. The county so far does not require, even in the springs, that you contract with Recology to pick up your solid waste. I don't know what people do. I guess they take them to the landfill or into the creeks or whatever dumpster they can find. If you are a customer of Recology, you can request free large item pickup, I think maybe twice a year, but certainly, and they 4 times. Oh, why are you there? And I'm here. So thank you for letting us know. And they'll deliver a small dumpster-like thing for you to put your TV set or large item barbecue grill in there. But you're right, more often than not, the mattresses, furniture just tossed on the side of the road. And then you can use the county website, SoCo Connect, I believe. Yes, Hannah's giving me the yes sign. You can report that. You tell them what the address is approximately, and they will schedule a pickup when they next come, and they'll bring the trucks around. And that's why you and Seth and the Ecology Center have been working so hard on the creek cleanups once or twice a year, because often those items are just thrown into the creeks, sadly. So yes, you're right. That's the large items in the unincorporated areas.
Thank you. Celeste.
Yeah, I just have 2 questions. So I see like the electronic waste, it includes microwaves. Does it include other like small, like kitchen appliances, like air fryers, or like what do people do with those?
The thing that kind of makes it electronic waste is if there's a screen on it. So maybe some of those smart air fryers that have a screen would be considered electronic waste. Yeah, that's a good
Like
question.
a touch screen? Is that what you mean?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. And then is there somewhere, we get this a lot posted on Facebook, people asking where they can recycle fabric and clothing items, ones that are too worn for donation, but they don't want to dump them in the landfill. Like how, is there a program that people can access to recycle those things?
Not right now. Textile waste is actually, it's another bill that's being considered at the legislature. I think it's SB 707. So I encourage you to write in a letter of support for that. And it's gonna also be another one where it's called an extended producer responsibility, EPR. Yeah, bill. So basically it's going to make the people that produce the manufacturers are going to have to come up with solutions for managing, because it is a growing waste stream, and there's so many types, again, with the plastics, all the different resin codes. So it's not like one piece of cotton, it's, different kinds of plastics blended together. It makes it really hard to do anything with that.
Thank you. Joe, do you have anything?
Sorry, I'm paid. That's all.
Thanks. I had one more question. So in the state of Michigan, my in-laws made it a point to take me to this grocery store that had like these machines. You walk in and they had somebody there like guiding people to get things recycled, cans, bottles, all the things. And I don't see anything like that here. Is it because it's like takes up a lot of real estate, or what? Any reasons why we don't have anything that you know of?
So we have the CRV program in California is dated. It hasn't been updated in a very long time. We actually were awarded a pilot project to address CRV, and it is in progress right now. We don't have anything coming soon to Sonoma or Sonoma Valley, but one of the recycler that we're working with is actually in development with like an automated system that's gonna be deployed first in Rohnert Park and then to the Windsor site. And so I don't think it's not gonna look like a individual bottle thing like the one you're describing, but it will be, you can bag your material, and it's okay to put that in a bag because it will have a barcode on the bag. It will get scanned in. The barcode will be associated with your customer account. So you scan it, a door is going to open, you put that bag in, it'll kind of drop down a chute. And then like every other day or so, the recycler will come collect all that material, bring it back to their facility for sorting and then issue an electronic payment. So it's a test, it's a pilot. So we're hoping to see what we can learn from that program, and hopefully expand it to other sites in Sonoma County. So it's sort of trying to prove the proof of concept, but the reverse vending machine isn't really something that's super widespread. I have seen it in a CVS in Santa Rosa. But yeah, it's kind of it's a little bit broken right now.
All right, thank you. Okay. Yes, and then we're gonna go to public comment.
Okay, two things. One is the recycling bin, another question. My daughter lives in Portland. There, the glass is collected separately, because it's much easier to color sort it, and it doesn't get broken falling into the bottom of the bin. The other is paper. Is all paper that goes into the bin, does that go to compost? Because wet paper and cardboard are not, well, I know that I understand that wet cardboard is not, can't be reused, can't be reconfigured. So I wonder about these things.
I will say that, keeping the materials separate results in a cleaner stream, and you can see why. We've gone to a single mix bin, and to go back to separating it would create a lot of confusion for people. So I think that we're kind of stuck in this like single stream bin. So I would recommend, if you have paper that you put in your recycling bin that you think might get wet, you can also compost that paper in your green bin, to avoid that. You can also compost like greasy pizza boxes. I think it sounds like this group already knows that, but just as a FYI, the glass ends up getting broken anyways at the recycling facility. So that's okay. But yeah, the best option would actually be to have multiple bins. And actually in Windsor, they have a separate bin for cardboard for that purpose.
Yeah, my only gripe about multiple bins was that cardboard was impossible.
Yeah.
That was really difficult. But the other thing is, Go Cups. I don't believe that they're compostable because they've got some sort of coating on the inside. I always wonder about that. And the lids are always number 6.
What was that?
To go
The
cups.
Oh,
Go
to-go
cups,
cups.
like a latte to go or something.
Yeah, no, there's no such thing as a recyclable or compostable hot cup.
Thank you.
Thank you. Jesus, I think you have last comment.
I want to say thank you, Sinshi Tan.
Oh, I'm Sloan. Zinzi is my other.
Yeah,
my
I want to
colleague.
say
Yeah.
thank you to Sinshi Tan and
Yeah.
thank you, Sloan. Thank you, Sinshi, for providing the compost for the
Yeah.
clean and park cleanup on September 23rd. And yeah, like 100 people came for the compost. Yeah.
And recycling that.
Yeah, so thank you so much for helping us with that.
Yeah.
Okay, I think we have a public comment, but Seth, you have to go up to the mic. And Sloan, if you want to step back for a second, sorry, it's how we do it.
We gave away 40 of the compostable kitchen countertop, and that was Travis Wagner at the city of Sonoma has those. He said he had hundreds, so if there was a way to do another giveaway, I think that would be a good thing. And I'm sure he still has them. The other question I had, which I guess I'll ask you a question and go sit down, is that I'm a landscaper and we have so much black plastic liners and 6-pack containers and 1-gallon pots, and then nurseries don't want them anymore. And I have next to my house like a pile like this that I'm slowly throwing in the garbage, unfortunately, and reusing when I can. So that's my other question.
Thank you, Seth. I've been asking that question every month for zero waste. And I think we can collect them with the household hazardous waste through the Conservation Corps, North Bay. However, we need some place to take them. They'll collect them for us, but how can we use them other than putting them in our recycle container, which is what most people do? So maybe you and I can work on that. How do we do that? I know that there is a secret garden at Los Gulicos that has been excavated by the master gardeners right in front of or behind the solar panels and in front of the pallet shelter homes. And it's amazing. And we're looking for funding to replace the roof, and they hold classes there. And they actually will accept recycled containers. But Tierra Vegetables up by Airport Boulevard also will accept those, and the master gardeners can reuse them. I don't think they can reuse an entire county's worth, and that's the challenge. We all used to take them to Recycle Town for reuse, and sadly, you're right, the nurseries will not take them, and we can figure out how to efficiently reuse the gallon and the smaller containers. But when you buy a tree and it's 15 gallons, what in the heck do you do with that? Big granddaddy or larger? And they will not take them back. And I, like you, I have a pile of them.
Thank you. Any other public comment? Seeing none. Any other comments from council? Sloan, thank you very, very much. It was super informative. Really appreciate it. Yeah, thank you. Okay, annual report. Good night, everybody. Sloan was the draw tonight. Yeah. I need, so we've got the annual report due. I generally write it, but I need your help. So if you did an event or you did or ran any kind of mostly events or were a part of something, if you could do a write-up for me, then I can incorporate it into like the picnic, the compost, the road, what we're doing with the road, we're adopting it. And whatever other things we might be up to, a couple of or even a paragraph would be super helpful. The emergency pod, some of the, yeah. And then I tend to just put a list of the topics of people that presented, and then include the write-ups on the things that you all have done. I probably will do it over Christmas break. So if I had it by the end of November, that would be very helpful.
And from what date do you want it? Because we did one this year, and we give it to you, I believe, on like the first trimester or second trimester.
So it's kind of weird. It overlaps a little bit from, it's probably this calendar year. I think I'm caught up because we were behind 1 year. I'd say this calendar year, anything that happened from January on through December. Does that make sense? Okay. Okay. The suggestion was to create an ad hoc, but I find it really hard to write in a group. So I'm happy to put it together if you send me things. I think writing a group write is really hard. So I'll be happy to put it together. I've already got the template. So if you're agreeable with that. Okay. All right. Budget request forms.
Or do we need a resolution on the previous?
I don't know. Do
one?
we need a resolution on me writing the report?
Because you're not forming an ad hoc, no, but even though our in-person folks are no longer here, open it for. public
Oh,
comment.
any public comment on the riveting end of your report? No, seeing none. Okay. All right. Okay. Budget request forms. I'm not sure what other budgets we need to request for. I thought we covered them all.
I
Joe,
believe we did. I think this is just almost a quick reminder. For all of us to spend more time on like the narrative and putting a clear.
what the money's being
Yeah,
held.
exactly, a clear, itemized list of what the funding is going towards.
Okay, okay. All right. It also says approval of upcoming 23-24 budget. So I'm not sure, are we approving for, are we going like, are we approving for Dia del Niño and then Dia de los Muertos and all of that for the entire coming year?
If we are, I don't think we're prepared
I
to do
don't
that
think we are
tonight
either.
because I think we're missing some key people.
Yep,
Like Maria Carmen who, and Karina who sort of help with that piece.
yeah.
So if that's what we are to do, I'd like to suggest that we move
it
that
to
to
the
next
next
month.
agenda. I
Right,
agree.
because our fiscal year is July through June, so we really have until
Yeah,
April.
Yeah.
Or May, April for the rest of the
right.
year.
And we already did Dia del Niño, right? I think we did.
Yeah.
Okay, all right, so we'll move this to the December agenda. We could probably even push it to January. Okay, public comment? Yes, Iris.
What about Christmas, the holiday?
There's no motion, we don't have a date, nothing
Okay.
has come up with that, so I don't know that that's gonna happen. I don't think we have an ad hoc for it either. We do?
For the Christmas, for the holiday, toy giveaway?
Yeah, it's not listed though.
No, I think what we had talked about was that Mari Carmen she just doesn't have the bandwidth to do it. And we had talked about basically it was hanging in sort of a holding pattern that unless there were people stepping up to help her, it wasn't a thing that we could do this
Yeah,
year.
and we can't talk to her because she's not here.
Yeah, and so I think, and I just, yeah, unless somebody wants to take that on and take the lead, who has the bandwidth. That's where we had left off last month.
Yeah, and regardless, we won't have a budget or anything, I mean, until next month, even if folks step forward, won't happen until then.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how we're gonna pull it off. But we haven't selected a date, we don't have an ad hoc, and it's not on the agenda. So we're kind of in a difficult position. Okay.
I would like to suggest that should next month somebody want to do something, we could do a January winter / Three Kings / Posadas / winter in general.
A snowman,
Yes.
a snowman celebration.
So, I mean, I don't think like sort of, it's like all hope is lost if we don't do it this second. Maybe we wouldn't do it in time for what people think of as the traditional Christmas, but it doesn't mean we couldn't do like a January New Year's winter thing as well. There's a lot that happens that first week in January.
Okay, I'm gonna suggest that at future items, somebody brings it up so we can get it in the notes and make sure that January would be awesome. I think it'll take a little pressure off everybody too.
I just want to say that I encountered Mari Carmen and I asked Beck to let me know what she needed help with on that, and she has to report it back. But as soon as hopefully he connects to the meeting.
Well, we'll have to talk to her about it in future items. Okay, we have our updates on our ad hocs. Oh, wait, any public comment on the budget requests?
Yes. Karina say that we must update our budget request from the past, the one that we approved last month for the Dia de los Muertos, because we only did one altar. So it was 1,000 for 2 altars, and if said was only gonna do one, it will be only 500, so we had to update it to 500. Because we only had one altar.
Hannah, can I ask you a question? If we approve more money and we just don't spend it, we don't have to reapprove the budget sheet, do we? We just spend less money.
That sounds correct to me. Yeah, so the money would be returned to. your
Yeah.
balance.
A budget is really just
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, and I'll say we did make that caveat in the approval last month that if there was only one, that it would be 500. So that is, there is a paper. trail.
okay, I don't think we need to, I think we're good. Yeah. My understanding of how budgets work. And I think we did cover. Yeah, I think we're good. Okay. Now. Ad hoc updates. Is there any update on the Adopt a Road?
Yes, the update is we need to approve the date of January 15th because we couldn't do that last time. So as it's now a resolution item, I think January 15th is an excellent day. So
January 15th for us to do a road cleanup.
yeah,
That's a Monday.
It's a Monday. Is that Martin Luther King Day?
yep,
Oh,
That is an excellent day,
Yes,
weather permitting.
weather permitting.
I'll
Mhm.
bring umbrellas.
I motion to approve January 15th.
Is there a second?
Second,
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, January 15th it is.
Good, good, good.
Thank you.
That's all.
Excellent. Bicycle racks, we haven't had a lot of movement on this. I haven't had a chance to.
I
do
haven't,
anything.
I was swamped. I will bring December placements for the other racks.
Thank you.
It's been.
Yeah, I understand.
Yeah, but I will, I'll make that happen for next month's meeting.
Okay. I appreciate that, Joe. Thank you very much. Dia de los Muertos, Jesus.
yes, I have a presentation for that. So the SMAC has been sponsoring the Sonoma Grange Hall to set up a altar or offering for Day of the Dead. Here is the altar that members of the community and Seth Dolinsky helped set up at the park, Larson's Park. Next slide, please. So the altar offering is to celebrate Day of the Dead. It was set up on October 28th at Larson's Park. The Sonoma Grange Hall was we sponsored the we were the fiscal sponsor for the Sonoma Grange Hall, and the Springs gave $500 to cover the cost of the altar, and took the opportunity to set up and organize an event for the community. He opened the Springs Garden, gave away pastries, hot chocolate, and pumpkins. And yeah, like we say, only 500 will be given to the Springs Hall for helping us with this event. Next slide. Seth has been organizing Day of the Dead celebration for the past 3 years, and it makes it a free community event for everyone. And let me tell you that I've been attending these for the past 3 years. I've been attending the event. It's very nice. I feel like I'm very connected to the community, and community members get free pumpkins, and they interact with other members and the community. There was a face painting by an artist from Artscape, and Sonoma Regional Park was there giving information about our county parks, and everyone was having a great time. I love this event. Next slide. Because unfortunately, Seth couldn't set up the altar, 22 Boyes Boulevard. I decided to do it myself, but this is
Aw.
just myself. Yeah, it went on October 31st, and I took it down on November 4th. And yeah, I put a lot of candy. People took the candy, and I had a notebook for people to write the names of their people, the loved ones. I think that I do it because I like to remember the people that passed away. And Karina donated the skulls, and they're very pretty, and people notice it. I hope that perhaps next year's we can partner with somebody that can make a really nice altar. It was a beautiful display.
Thank you,
Next
Jesus.
next slide. Thank you. Questions?
Thank you, Jesus.
Thank you for doing that. Supervisor Gorin?
And I just wanted to say, thank you. It's fabulous. Did have a interesting conversation with Leonardo Labato of La Luz Center. And talk is cheap and easy to do, but we were fantasizing about or expressing interest in having a little bit more organized Day of the Dead celebration in the Springs, maybe involving some of the restaurants, maybe involving Arcticscape, La Luz, perhaps Larson Park and the future Springs Plaza, maybe a little walking or bicycling festival. And it's a lot of effort, but so I would love to hear from you. You don't have to say now, but is this of interest? Should we get a couple of folks together from different organizations to do something small, but larger than just this wonderful display and altar that you erected?
Yeah, I'm sure that there's probably some interest. I think we would need some organizations to step up and do some heavy lifting for us to make that happen. Yeah, but I think there's probably an interest. Yeah. Okay. Let's see. Next one is emergency preparedness.
Sorry, I guess that's me. That's us, yeah. Do you want to go? You have notes. I'm with you.
Yeah. We met at the school and I think it was the 18th. Yeah, October 18th. The Supervisor Rodriguez-Chin was not aware that we actually even had the conics there. So it was a good thing we talked. The school did find the MOU, the memorandum of understanding. And we have because of the seismic questions for Altamira, we need to talk to the Red Cross and to Altamira, excuse me, the Red Cross and the Department of Emergency Management. I did find the inventory that we took, it's probably the same. That's not a real big deal until we just, find out if actually we could use Altamira in like an earthquake. So, yeah. Celeste has more.
And yeah, and so basically what's changed is that Altamira has to have some seismic upgrades. And so when we look at the springs and there being a large scale earthquake, Altamira had been chosen several years ago. The Red Cross had done a walkthrough of different sites that people in this end of the valley could evacuate to, and Altamira was identified by the Red Cross. Well, since then, Altamira has had some has had some assessments structurally, and so there's going to be seismic upgrades that are going to need to happen at that campus. And so the question that comes is, should we have a large seismic event? Do we want to evacuate the community to a place that could be actually have been impacted by a large seismic event. The multi-purpose room is a newer building and it's totally up to code and would be fine, but could that house this entire half of the valley, should there be a large event? So what we've talked about is needing to bring the Red Cross back in and have them do a walk and have a conversation also with OES and ensure that Altamira is still the location that they recommend. And then of course, all of that would become a moot point once the seismic upgrades at that facility have been made, then we're all good to go. So I think we just need to sort of get some clearer answers where we want the community to evacuate to. And so that it was really good that we had this meeting and had this conversation because it brought up that bigger piece of, does the community even know where they evacuate to in a large scale disaster? Do they know that Altamira is where they go? So let's say there's a wildfire, right? That doesn't impact the earthquake safety. Do people even know that's where they go?
Yes, I was a part of that body of folks that did that work, and it's really, the decision is made by the Department of Emergency Services, and they would notify folks on where to go at the time. So they know the list of locations, and then they make those decisions based on the information they have at the time.
That helps a lot because that was one of our big questions and we all were looking at each other like, I don't know, that's a really good question.
Yeah, because Hannah was identified, and then Flowery and Alvarado were identified as resource centers. And Altamira was identified as a potential housing because that's why the Connex was decided to put there. So those are some of the things that went into the decision making.
So, and then of course, obviously, there was no problem with us. She wants to make sure we have access to the pod and that we can do inventory. So that's sort of our next step is going to and having a work day at the pod to organize, do our inventory, get rid of anything that's expired, make sure that we replenish it with current supplies. And so that would basically be the next step. But we were able to actually have some good conversations about sort of lessons learned in past disasters, questions we have about how we can be best prepared moving forward and ensuring that the community, has a sort of a know where to go. And we have a good plan at this end of the valley. I feel like in the city limits, people sort of instinctually know where to go. And I don't know that people instinctually here have a sense of where they should go. I love that the agencies can direct people, but I know as
Yeah.
we learned in the 2017 fires, the county is a lot better now at how they communicate in multiple languages. But in 2017, it was a big challenge and a lot of people felt very stuck.
Yes.
And so we definitely don't
true.
ever want that to happen again.
No,
And we
we
had a
don't.
really good conversation about that.
Okay, thanks for the update. Logo competition. We had some movement on the logo competition. So I think we have a press release to approve. We have a Google form that will attach to it, and we should probably show the Google form as well, but we can start with the press release. If you didn't get a chance to read through it, maybe just take a minute to skim and scan.
Through the chairs, the typeface data for everyone.
Yes, I can actually see it. Thank you.
But I got it in front of me.
Well, I wrote it, so I'm good. No, we're good. Is there anything anybody wants to change? No, we do need to decide on a date, I think. Can you go back up a couple of paragraphs? I think there was a date we need to insert. There. We need a start date and an end date.
Do we want to shoot for like January 1?
I was gonna say,
February?
start the new year with a new logo, like, I think that's a great,
So we,
for
end
voting and maybe. What is it, like the 23rd, give a few weeks to tally.
so start like now
Uh-huh.
and go to January or December 23rd.
Mhm. And then January 1st will, or I guess whatever the January meeting will.
Okay.
Well, then could we keep voting open until midnight, New Year's Eve?
Oh,
Close
wouldn't
it
that be
on
exciting?
January 1,
Yeah.
and then we have
That
our
makes more
meeting
sense.
Yeah,
just to keep
Yeah.
it
yeah.
spectacular.
Can you, Hannah, how does this get
Or
updated?
midnight,
Do you,
December 31st. I
Yeah.
guess it's January 1st. Anyway,
this midnight,
midnight
December
is-
31st is our closing date and we'll start whenever. I think that there was some issues with getting it on our website. I think they were
Yeah.
still working on that.
A little
Sure.
turnaround there, but I've taken note of your end date. We'll get it updated there as soon
Okay.
as possible.
All right, can we look at the Google form and make sure that we're okay with that? I also just really want to thank all the people who provided us with logos. It was a tough decision, but at the end, what it came down to was transferability, right? Things that would print on any number of surfaces and have, and so some of them were not going to transfer well. So
and any number of sizes too, that's. a big
Yeah.
piece.
So these are the two. We have option A. The form is very simple. Pick one. A or B. So this is A and then this was B. And pick one and submit. So it does come to it will come to me, so I will share the information after December 31st. Okay, anybody want to change that, want to make that? Do we want to make that any different? Are we okay with the Google form?
Should there be a tie?
Uh,
I nominate Celeste.
I nominate the coin will flip. I don't, we have to have a runoff. I don't know. I guess if there's a tie, we'll have a meeting about that.
Okay, thank
Okay.
you.
Thank you.
I like coin flip.
Okay, so we'll move forward with all of that. Do you have what you need from us, Hannah, to make that happen?
Sure do. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Okay, social media. I still have to get you access and I have not been able to, and we've tried a number of times. And I don't know why.
It's because the world is moving too damn fast. That's why Facebook is not what it used to be. That's my take.
Okay.
Can we start an
An
Instagram?
Also Facebook.
Yeah, but we can start an Instagram
Is there-
without having to have you can start an Instagram without having to have the connectivity in the metas, right? So so like, for instance, like, okay, I'm
Yeah,
gonna,
Same, Jack.
Yeah. I could create an Instagram and I could give the login to Maite and to Karina, who are connected in the meta, and they can connect that Instagram to the Facebook
Yes.
so
I've
that
done
it can do it automatically. So we don't necessarily, you can log in individually. You don't have to go through Meta to log into Instagram.
So a single sign on.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. So can we prove that we can have an Instagram?
Yeah, why not?
I motion for an Instagram.
I second. All in favor?
I
Okay, so Celeste, you and I are gonna have to talk about how that's gonna work. Because you lost me at Meta.
It's the,
Yeah, no, I
yeah,
know it is,
the-
but
it's the
yes.
thing.
But I did
place.
do it with my school accounts and with my personal accounts. So but you're gonna have to walk me
Yeah,
through
we
it.
can coordinate with Karina.
Yeah, okay. All right. Was that it for the ad hocs? Oh, utility boxes. I have not made any progress on utility boxes.
Me neither, but I guess we're still waiting for. I mean, we don't have to wait, but Artscape is working on the designs of the utility boxes, and then I will.
We still have to finish the application, which
Would you?
I don't have time to do,
I know.
to be perfectly honest.
Do you recall the meeting? They sent us an example meeting, right? So we can use that as a template. To remember,
No,
I need to look at the. Also,
we can do the Comcast boxes without having any, we just need the designs for the Comcast boxes. It's the other
And-
ones that are
and
more complicated.
I do understand it's complicated. It shouldn't be.
No, it's too
but it is.
complicated,
It's-
Susan. It's
I-
barrier after barrier.
TPW will take care of the applications, and I'm sorry I lost track of this. I
Okay.
know Karina and I talked about it maybe a month or two ago, so I will poke Karina and we'll have a conversation with Janice and get that application moving. I know Arcticscape is on it, but we just need to complete the applications.
Okay,
And-
thank you for that.
And we do need for them to do the solicitation for designs. So there are a number of other parts of this that needs to be done.
We did a survey and we gave them some suggestions based on the survey results we got.
Okay.
So they
okay,
do
great.
have that.
They have that.
Yeah.
So their part of it then is done. They know who to hire and how.
Yes,
and-
all that's done as
and
well.
we have the funding in our budget to give to them and the application. So we, part of me just says, go ahead and do it and we'll ask forgiveness later.
I like that part, Susan.
I tend to be a little guerrilla action movement.
Well, that's helpful because it's, yeah,
Don't put that in the minutes.
can I add to the outlook? I believe Caltrans missed three utility boxes that potentially can be on the project because of all of the utility boxes that are on the Highway 12 Springs corridor from Agua Caliente to El Verano. I believe the ones on the intersections are Caltrans. Caltrans didn't know that they missed it, so they are Caltrans. So there is potentially 3 more utility boxes that can be added to the project. One on Agua Caliente Road and Highway 12, the one on Boyes Boulevard and Highway 12, the one on Siesta Drive and Highway 12, and the one on El Verano. So I'm missing, actually, there's only one. Yeah, 3. 3 that could potentially be added to the project.
Okay, and we could add more, but we only have funding for a certain number of boxes for this next year. And I also want to investigate murals on the 3 retaining walls that had history of being tagged. So it could be a multi-year project. But I know that this was the funding that was requested by Arcticscape to facilitate the project for X number of boxes. And so we'll have to, let's start small, make it happen, and then we can move forward.
Yeah, and I'd say we already
Thank you.
voted on what we have, so it makes sense to push that through before having to bring it all back to do all over again.
Right, I agree.
okay. We could potentially see how this goes and do those next time. Okay. Is there public comment on the ad hocs? Okay, seeing none. Is there an SBCAC update?
Yes, I'm prepared for that. One moment. All right. At the October 25th meeting of the SBCAC, the commission received a presentation from the Sonoma County Transit Authority and Regional Climate Protection Authority, SCTA RCPA, that covered current planning efforts, including the active transportation plan, formerly the bike and pedestrian master plan. There is currently a survey open that folks are encouraged to take and it is available on the SCTA RCTA website. Also covered was the comprehensive transportation plan, which was adopted in September of this year, 2021. Both of these plans outline projects and prioritize them, but do not allocate funding. However, having projects included in these is a necessary step to getting state and federal funding for them. The presentation also covered other regional planning efforts. If you're interested in watching the meeting, you can find it on the Sonoma TV YouTube page. This was the first SBCAC meeting for their new planning commissioner, Diane Olmstead, who joined the planning commission, replacing Caitlin Cornwall. The next SBCAC meeting will take place November 29th, as the regular meeting date was during the Thanksgiving. And that's it.
Thank you. Okay,
And sorry, through the chair, just to open public comment on that too.
is there public comment? Okay, seeing none. All right. Consideration for future items. We have, I believe, we have positive images and LGBTQ connection coming on the 13th and maybe an update by the mental health hub at Hannah. Not sure about that. We'll see. But it looks like that's what's on the docket. Are there other considerations? I think there was one we were talking about a few minutes ago.
Do we want to bring the annual report back? Oh, no, because we're.
No, it was something
Never
else.
mind. Never mind. It's
We-
coming back. Just a joke.
We had talked about inviting Share Housing Sonoma County.
Okay, so let me write these down. Share Housing, Sonoma County.
Yeah, it'd be Amy Appleton. Susan, is that her last name?
That is.
Is it?
And
Amy?
through the chair, yeah. Amy
Thank
Appleton.
you.
The item that you mentioned that came up just a few minutes ago was talking about a winter celebration in January.
Oh, yeah, we need to talk. Yeah, that has to be back on. So that's the item. Thank you. Was there anything else? Jack?
I know it's been mentioned before, at least by me, but I think I don't know the best forum for this, but an overall kind of look at pedestrian safety in the area. Two things that come to mind are the crosswalks that have previously been requested, sort of what's going on with those. Visibility is another one, because now that the sun goes down
Yeah.
earlier, it's impossible to see anything.
Yep.
I mean, not strictly true, but it's very difficult
Yeah.
to see people out and about. And I think something else that's coming up is with the Siesta Apartments now officially opening, we're going to be getting more folks moving into the community who are less likely to have cars, so therefore need to be able to get around. And one of the choke points, as some of us know, the Donald Gap, the bridge. If there's any chance of getting some kind of barrier there, this is the kind of area I'm talking about, because if they're going to do groceries, they're probably going to Maxwell Village.
Yes.
That's the only logical place for a lot of folks to go to. So
So would that be Caltrans and TPW or PI again?
I would definitely SoCo Pi for pedestrian safety. If talking about transportation options for older adults that don't have cars, maybe someone from the Adult and Aging Division of the county who's focused on transportation might be a good presenter. I know they have folks there who are specifically working on non-car transportation.
Okay, can we add that, both of those to future agenda items? Anything else? Thanks for having Zero Waste suggesting them. That was really good. She was super informative. Anything else? That end? Okay. All right. Again, thank you to Sonoma TV and Bob for all his technical assistance, Lynn Marie for taking the minutes, SVUSD for the facility use, and to Carlos and Dasha who are on the line interpreting for us. Thank you, Hannah, for stepping in today and helping out, and to Supervisor Gorin for all her support. So can I get a motion to adjourn?
I motion to adjourn.
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, everyone, have a great fall holiday. Thank you.